Sign it.
My husband slammed the divorce papers in my face. The sheet brushed against my cheek before falling to the floor. I didn't argue. I simply bent down, picked up the papers, and signed my name. In that moment, I suddenly felt light, because it could finally be over. Every morning at 6, I was ordered to clean the windows, 100 times over. If there was even a speck of dust, I had to start again. His mother stood coldly nearby, watching me.
You, a girl from some backwater town, are only fit for this kind of work.
At night, I was expected to undress and attend to my husband. Tonight, I thought I could finally leave. But just as I was dragging my suitcase to go...
Leave? What are you leaving for? The floor hasn't been mopped. You're just a small-town girl without a background. Leave our family and you're nothing.
I said nothing, just pulled my suitcase and walked out that door. Outside, the air bit cold. Hungry and exhausted, I stood on the street corner, suddenly not knowing where to go. My bank card had been frozen. My phone had only a sliver of battery left. That's when I stopped by a bulletin board along the road. A job posting was tacked there. Live-in childcare companion needed. Private room provided. Excellent salary. Must enjoy spending time with children. I stared at the paper for a long time without looking away. Then slowly, I reached out and tore it down. I never expected the flyer had been posted by the world's most famous football star. Now, I was standing outside a massive mansion. A stern butler stood beside me.
Our master is looking for a stepmom for his son, not a wife for himself. Remember that. Our master is well off. Don't get any ideas you shouldn't.
I lowered my head slightly, keeping my eyes forward. I couldn't help thinking how perfect this job was for me. After all, it's just finding a high-level caretaker for the child. I had just finalized my divorce this morning. The thought of remarrying right now was out of the question, but taking care of the child gave me a place to stay. I wouldn't have to spend money on rent. For someone in my situation, it was a godsend. I nodded respectfully.
I understand. I won't get any ideas I shouldn't.
The butler seemed satisfied. He led me into the dining room. A silent war was happening at the table. A tall man held a spoon. A small boy sat across from him. Neither was willing to surrender. The boy refused to eat. The man looked ready to give up. Several minutes later, he sighed, then lowered the bowl.
Just one bite, please.
Mr. Hayes, the applicant is here. This one seems sensible.
The man turned around. Black trousers, a white dress shirt. Even beneath formal clothes, the build of a professional athlete was impossible to miss. Strong thighs, broad shoulders, powerful frame, a body shaped by years on the pitch. His face looked tired, but nothing could hide how handsome he was. I froze. I knew that face. Everyone did. Luca Hayes, the biggest football star on the planet. For a second, I forgot how to breathe. Then all my worries vanished. A man like him had no reason to scam an ordinary woman. His tired gaze landed on me.
What is your name?
I guessed he had come home after interviews, maybe after sponsorship meetings. Yet feeding his son seemed harder than winning a World Cup.
Claire.
He nodded, then handed me the bowl.
You try.
This had to be part of the interview. I needed this job. If I got hired, I wouldn't have to spend another night wondering where I was going to sleep. I picked up the bowl. Then I put on what I hoped was a warm, friendly smile and walked toward the boy. Before I could take 2 steps, he disappeared under the table, fast. Only his huge, dark eyes remained visible. They glared at the man on the sofa.
I don't want her! Make her leave! I'm not letting her feed me. They're all bad!
So there had been other women before me. A lot of them, apparently. That explained a few things. I glanced around the room. Toy figures were everywhere. Action heroes, spaceships, race cars. An idea formed immediately. I grabbed 2 action figures from a nearby shelf, then sat on the floor beside the table.
Don't worry. I'm not here to feed you.
His suspicious eyes narrowed. I held up one of the figures.
I'm feeding these guys.
I pretended to offer food to the toy.
Eat up. Heroes need fuel. Saving the world is hard work.
The boy watched silently. I picked up another figure.
Oh, you want vegetables? Smart choice. Heroes need strength.
The boy kept staring. I acted like I didn't notice. A minute passed, then another. Finally, he shuffled closer. His lower lip stuck out, like he had been completely forgotten. I hid a smile, then widened my eyes dramatically.
Oh, who's this? Is that a junior superhero?
The boy blinked. I looked at the action figure.
What do you think? Should we share some food with him?
Then I gasped.
He said yes!
The boy's eyes lit up.
But only a little. If you get stronger than him, he might get jealous.
The spoon had barely reached him before he opened his mouth. One bite, then another, then 3 more. Soon half the bowl was gone. After that, he frowned at me.
Where are the vegetables? Are you scared I'll get stronger than him?
I laughed, then looked up. Mr. Hayes was still sitting on the sofa. The tension had disappeared from his face. Judging by the look in his eyes, I had just passed the interview. That night, I moved into the mansion. The house had 3 floors. Ethan's room was on the 2nd floor. Mine was down the hall. Mr. Hayes lived alone on the 3rd floor. Before leaving, the butler stopped outside my room.
One rule, never go upstairs.
I blinked. The butler sighed.
Previous applicants had trouble respecting boundaries. I trust that won't be an issue.
It won't.
The next afternoon, Mr. Hayes returned home from training. The moment he stepped out of his car, he froze. His son was sitting on the front lawn, beside the family dog. Both were waiting for dinner. Both were wearing matching red bandanas. The dog took a bite. Ethan took a bite. The dog sat. Ethan sat. The dog wagged its tail. Ethan tried to wag his entire body. I was trying very hard not to laugh. Mr. Hayes looked horrified.
Claire.
His voice was dangerously calm. Ethan jumped up.
Dad, we're training.
The dog barked. Ethan barked back.
We're teammates.
Mr. Hayes closed his eyes. The butler stepped forward.
To be fair, sir, the young master has eaten 2 full meals today and a bowl of vegetables, voluntarily.
Mr. Hayes stared at his son. His son was currently racing the dog across the lawn, laughing harder than I had ever seen. Eventually, he exhaled.
Come here, let's talk.
I sat across from him in the living room.
You seem good with children.
His gaze settled on me.
Do you have any of your own?
No, but I helped raise my ex-husband's nephew for almost 2 years.
He nodded, then glanced at the file on the table.
It says you're divorced.
Yes.
Reason?
I hesitated, then shrugged.
His family didn't think I was good enough for him.
His expression didn't change, but his eyes sharpened slightly.
Ridiculous.
Mr. Hayes was quiet for a moment.
Ethan lacks a sense of security. He doesn't trust people easily. He prefers staying at home.
He paused briefly.
My schedule is demanding. I can't be with him as much as he needs.
His gaze settled on me.
That's why I placed the ad.
I understood immediately. The advertisement had been clear from the beginning. Mr. Hayes folded his hands together.
If we move forward, there'll be a prenup. Everything stays separate. My lawyers will handle it.
He paused.
And to be clear, this arrangement would not require any marital obligations beyond what is agreed upon.
I blinked. That part surprised me more than the prenup.
I understand.
Mr. Hayes nodded.
Good.
That was how wealthy families worked. I knew that better than most. My first marriage had been for love. At least that's what I'd believed. But love hadn't erased the gap between us. His family came from old money. I came from an ordinary background. There had been a prenup then, too. When the marriage ended, I walked away with almost nothing. Even the wedding ring had stayed behind. Compared to my ex-husband's family, Mr. Hayes belonged to an entirely different league. A global superstar. A fortune worth hundreds of millions. Of course he would be careful. Honestly, I wasn't worried about the prenup.
I don't actually need a marriage certificate. A long-term arrangement would be enough.
No.
The single word ended the discussion.
For Ethan, he needs permanency.
I understand.
A moment later, he added,
You'll receive a monthly allowance.
The number he mentioned nearly made me choke. It was more money than I had earned in several months. There was one thing I needed to know.
If this arrangement ends someday, the money I've already received stays mine, right?
Mr. Hayes looked mildly surprised.
Of course. It belongs to you.
Relief washed through me immediately.
Then I have no objections.
His gaze lingered on me for a second. Then he moved on.
As for the marriage itself, I don't expect anything from you.
I blinked.
What do you mean?
You'll keep your room on the 2nd floor. We'll maintain separate living arrangements.
Oh,
That was actually a relief.
works for me.
Good.
3 days after my divorce, I agreed to marry another man. Just like the first time, there would be no wedding, no ceremony, no guests. That evening, the chef prepared a special dinner. The staff seemed determined to celebrate anyway. After dessert, Mr. Hayes placed a velvet box in front of me. Inside was a diamond ring.
That's not necessary.
For Ethan's sake.
I slid it onto my finger.
Thank you.
That night, I had just climbed into bed when there was a soft knock on my door. A second later, the door opened. Ethan stood in the doorway, still wearing his dinosaur pajamas, looking unusually nervous.
Claire, can you read me a bedtime story?
I blinked.
What? His cheeks turned pink.
If you're busy, that's okay. Dad can pay you extra.
I nearly laughed. Of course he would think that solved everything. I set my book aside.
Come here.
His eyes lit up immediately. I lifted the blanket. He climbed into bed beside me. For the next half hour, I read stories about pirates, dragons, and treasure hunts. At some point, his small hand found mine. Eventually, his breathing slowed. Ethan was asleep, still curled up beside me. The next morning, Mr. Hayes was visibly surprised when he heard what had happened. For the second time, I saw approval in his eyes.
Claire,
He looked at me.
thank you.
Then he added,
I'll increase your monthly allowance.
Mr. Hayes, that's too much.
It really was. I'd given far more than that in my previous marriage. Yet when the divorce was finalized, I could barely afford a hotel room. During the day, I looked after my ex-husband's nephew. At night, I cooked for him. I built my entire life around his family because his mother always said,
We can afford help. But Claire shouldn't sit around doing nothing all day.
even after everything I did, his family still claimed I had been the lucky one.
Mr. Hayes, you're already paying me more than enough.
I smiled.
I really like Ethan. All I did was read him a story. It wasn't a big deal.
As I spoke, something warm wrapped around my right hand. Ethan had quietly taken hold of my fingers. He stared up at me. His little face was serious, almost expressionless, but his big, dark eyes were soft. I hadn't realized he was this easy to win over. Mr. Hayes said,
The women before you were too busy trying to impress me. They never paid attention to Ethan. The increase stays.
There was no room for argument in his tone, so I thanked him and let the matter drop. From that day on, Ethan followed me everywhere. Mr. Hayes was rarely home. Between training, matches, and travel, most days it was just the two of us in the house. Until the day I needed to visit the hospital for a follow-up appointment and a prescription refill. The butler had warned me before. Ethan never left the estate. The few times people had tried, it hadn't gone well, so I crouched down in front of him.
I'll be back soon. You stay here and wait for me, okay?
Instead of answering, Ethan grabbed my hand and refused to let go. He didn't say a word. He just looked up at me with those large, melancholy eyes. The butler sighed.
He's afraid you'll leave and never come back.
My heart softened instantly.
I'm not leaving. I just need to see my doctor, then I'll come right back. We can read together when I get home.
I was still trying to reassure him when he suddenly climbed into the back seat of the car. The butler stared.
Young master, are you going with Miss Claire?
Ethan sat quietly in his seat, then nodded once. The butler froze for a second. I thought he might cry. Then he lifted both hands toward the sky.
Thank God. He's finally willing to leave the house.
The doctor said my depression had improved. He encouraged me to keep taking care of myself, to eat properly, to keep my stress levels down. As we walked out of the office, Ethan glanced up at me.
Claire, are you sick?
A little.
I smiled.
I didn't take very good care of myself, so I got sick. You shouldn't be like me, okay?
His brows immediately knitted together.
Does it hurt?
The concern in his eyes caught me off guard. He dug into his pocket, then carefully placed a chocolate in my hand.
If it hurts, I can give you candy. Eating something sweet helps. Dad told me that.
I stared at the chocolate, then at his earnest little face, and suddenly, tears filled my eyes. During my marriage, every time I cried, my ex-husband's family called me dramatic. When I told my ex-husband I was struggling with depression, he said I was being difficult, that I was creating problems where there weren't any. Yet this little boy, a child who rarely showed affection, was offering me his favorite chocolate, just because he thought I was hurting. Before I realized what I was doing, I pulled him into my arms.
Claire, I'll eat
His small
properly.
hand patted my back, like he was trying to
When
comfort
I grow
me.
up, I'll protect you.
A laugh escaped through my tears.
Then you'd better grow up fast.
By the time we left the hospital, both of our eyes were slightly red. Waiting outside was a black SUV. Leaning casually against it stood Mr. Hayes, tall, broad-shouldered, effortlessly commanding attention. People couldn't help looking his way. Ethan and I walked over together. I tightened my grip on Ethan's hand.
Mr. Hayes, why are you doing here?